This is Feature Minor. So it looks like the Artemis 2 moon launch has had the opposite effect of what it was intended to have on the nation. It looks like this was intended to inspire the nation and have people see what the government can accomplish. But instead, it looks like it's causing a controversy online and on mainstream platforms with a lot of people questioning if what they're seeing is real. And not only are they questioning the Artemis 2 moon launch, but they're also now questioning the original moon launches, which they already have been questioning for years. So it's just adding to that. Now, from the images that we've been seeing with the Artemis 2, it's been a big nothing burger. You see, they release images of the Earth and they release images of the moon, but people are questioning what's going on with video technology. Have they lost the video technology to record the moon or Earth? Because the images are not impressive at all. And so what is the Artemis? You see, the Artemis is a pagan myth. The Artemis was the twin sister of Apollo, who is portrayed as an archer. She's also said to be the daughter of Zeus. And not only that, but she's also the Easter goddess, so some type of fertility goddess, and also the moon goddess. So this is what we're getting with NASA, is more pagan, ritualistic characters being associated with NASA. And if you check out my playlist, I have information about how NASA's origins is rooted in occultism. And so all of this looks like it's just one big ritual. And with the launch happening on April Fool's Day, it just adds to the whole ritualistic nature of everything that we've been seeing. And so with Neil deGrasse Tyson always saying that the Earth is a oblate spheroid, why does the Earth pictures always seem so perfectly circle? And where's all the space junk in the Earth pictures that they're showing us? People are saying that the pictures they saw from the Artemis look too perfect and CGI generated. And so why can't they just simply record video from inside the cabin and point it out the window and show us it's a live camera shot that they're taking, instead of this perfect picture that they like to show us, where we already know that there's no true pictures or images of the Earth. Everything has been generated artificially.
We decided to make this semi-realistic image of the Earth. We launched it and it made a fairly big splash, and then it was just kind of like it would pop up here and there. I'd see it in posters. But when the iPhone launched, it turns out that Apple had been using that image to test their color reproduction. I don't have the full story. I don't think Steve Jobs himself selected the image, but he definitely approved it. Yeah, you turn on an iPhone, the first thing you see is the blue marble. I bought an iPhone the second day they were out, had no idea. So I turned my phone on.
Yeah.
I see it, and I literally started jumping up and down.
And so there was a major debate on the Piers Morgan show when he had Bart Sibrel on the show, where they were discussing the moon landing and if it ever happened and if the Artemis 2 is happening. And if you watch the debate, it gets pretty fiery at times, and it's pretty clear that one side, which is the science side, just believes it because they saw it on TV. They don't really have any real valid proof that anyone has ever went to the moon. Everything they're saying is all because they have been told so and they believe. So Bart Sibrel and some science guy was going back and forth, and the science guy was even bringing up how they have tons of moon rocks that they brought back from the moon. But the thing is, there's a lot of reports out there that said those moon rocks were actually petrified pieces of wood and some rare pieces of rock, possibly from the Antarctic area. And so check out this clip from the Piers Morgan show.
You said here about the lunar landings, in order to appreciate the full absurdity of the lie, it bears repeating what both the US government and NASA claimed in the 60s. On the very first attempt, and all with 1/1,000,000th computing power of a cell phone, they've been able to send astronauts to orbit and land on the surface of the moon, a distance that is 1,000 times farther than they can achieve with human spaceflight today. To buy into your conspiracy theory about this, that it never happened, the sheer volume of people who must have signed up to this conspiracy, right, is overwhelming. Why has none of them? Why have none of the people that were part of the lie? Why have none of them broken ranks to say this was all faked?
Well, first of all, you're incorrect. I spoke to Eugene Kranz, flight director. He said that someone in the command center cannot tell the difference between a quote rehearsal flight and a quote a real flight. Just because there's 400,000 bank tellers at Bank of America, what a bank teller knows about corruption in the bank and what the CEO knows are completely different. There's only 3 eyewitnesses to every program. And who knows where they're really going. The fact is, we did have someone come forward. Two people came forward. Betty Grissom, the widow of the man who was going to be the first man to walk on the moon. I interviewed her for 4 hours.
And so I'll leave a link to this full debate between Bart Sibrel and this science guy in the comment section and description box if you want to check out the entire debate. It's a pretty good debate. I think Bart easily won this debate. And so I have another clip I'm going to play before we get out of here, where when they said that they destroyed the technology to go back to the moon, there's more to it. It sounds like there was actually a request for the data. And as they were requesting this information, that's when the technology was destroyed. And so check this out.
They really went to the moon and spent $250 billion. The last thing in the world you would do would be to destroy it. But if they perpetrated a fraud and you could prove the rocket didn't have enough fuel to leave Earth orbit, which it didn't, and you could prove that the lunar module couldn't run air conditioning for 3 days on a bunch of car batteries against 250 degrees outside, then you would destroy it. So for the first time in the world, technology, and in today's dollars, one that cost $250 billion, was intentionally destroyed.
What was the technology that was intentionally destroyed?
All of the Apollo equipment, the technology to go to the moon. But we destroyed that technology. They destroyed it. They also destroyed all of the original videotapes, all of the original telemetry data as to where the rocket was, and they disassembled and sent the parts to the wind, the only machine that could ever play the videotapes if they were ever found. And that happened days after Ron Howard asked for HD transfers to project it on an IMAX screen. He had to go to Blockbuster and rent videos. 95% of that movie are reenactments shot in a TV studio. He went to Blockbuster Video because they destroyed the original videotapes, which you would never do if you went, but that's exactly what you would do if you perpetrated a fraud. There's never been a time in history where technology was 1,000 times greater in the past, or they intentionally destroyed the technology. Never happened, except with the moon rock.
And so now we see that there's much more to the story about why they destroyed the evidence. The timing of everything is very suspicious. Why would they be destroying the evidence when it was being requested, and then all of a sudden they lost it and it was destroyed? It sounds like a cover-up to me.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to Mars should be one of the next series of steps that humans do. The first step should be going back to the moon for a number of technical reasons and exploration reasons, and then after that, Mars, maybe high orbit in Venus atmosphere, maybe going to Europa. There's all kinds of targets to go to, places of interest in our solar system. The only limit to human future is in our own imagination.
Let me know what you think about everything in the comment section and description box. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link to the full debate in the comment section and description box. I also leave a link to my moon playlist and my space program playlist as well. If you want to check out my members only videos, you can become a YouTube member for as little as $1 and you'll gain access to all of my members only videos. I also leave a link to my Feed Your Mind store, my free email newsletters, my social media links, and much more. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get over 500 likes on this video. Make sure you subscribe. This has been Feed Your Mind signing off. If you want to learn how to clean your public water in the comfort of your home, check out this water distiller. I have the same one at my house. I've been using it for years. And so if you want to get it, I have an affiliate link in the comment section and description box, or you can just click the link and learn more about it.